What is science? Science is an organized way of gathering and analyzing evidence about the natural world. Scientific method. It involves observing and asking questions, making an inference and forming hypotheses, conducting controlled experiments, collecting and analyzing data, and drawing conclusions. Observation. Scientific investigations begin with observation, which is the act of noticing and describing events or process in a careful and orderly way. A hypothesis is a scientific explanation for a set of observations that can test in ways that support or reject. Whenever possible, a hypothesis should be tested by an experiment in which only one variable is changed. All other variables should be kept unchanged or controlled. This type of experiment is called a controlled experiment. Good scientists share scientific attitudes or habits or mind that lead them to explanation and discovery. Curiosity, skepticism, open-mindedness, and creativity help scientists generate new ideas. Peer review. Publishing peer-review articles in scientific journals allows researchers to share ideas and to test and evaluate each other's work. What is a scientific theory? Evidence from many scientific studies may support several related hypotheses in a way that inspires researchers to propose a scientific theory that ties those hypotheses together. In science, the word theory applies to a well-tested explanation that unifies a broad range of observations and hypotheses, and that enables scientists to make accurate predictions about new situations. What is a bias? A bias is a particular preference or point of view that is personal rather than scientific. What is biology? Well, biology is simply the study of life. Characteristics of living things. Living things are made up of basic units called cells, are based on a universal genetic code called DNA, obtain and use materials and energy, grow and develop, reproduce, respond to their environment called stimuli, and maintain a stable internal environment and change over time. Genetic code. All organisms store the complex information they need to live, grow, and reproduce in a genetic code written in a molecule called DNA. That information is copied and passed from parent to offspring, with a few minor variations. Life's genetic code is almost identical in every organism on Earth. Growth and development. Every organism has a particular pattern of growth and development. During development, a single fertilized egg divides again and again, and cells divide. They differentiate, which means they bring to look different from one another and to perform different functions. Stimulus. Living organisms respond to their environment. Organisms detect and respond to stimuli from their environment. It is a signal to which an organism responds to. Reproduction. All organisms reproduce, which means that they produce new similar organisms. Most plants and animals engage in sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, cells from two parents unite to form the first cell of a new organism. But in asexual reproduction, in which a single organism produces offspring identical to itself. All living things maintain a stable internal environment. All organisms need to keep their internal environment relatively stable, even when external conditions change dramatically. Metabolism. All organisms must take in materials and energy to grow, develop, and reproduce. The combination of chemical reactions through which an organism builds up or breaks down materials is called metabolism. Big ideas on biology. The study of biology revolves around several interlocking big ideas: the cellular basis of life, information and heredity, matter and energy, growth, development and reproduction, homeostasis, evolution, structure and function, unity and diversity of life, independence in nature, which is the biosphere, and science as a way of knowing.